Good evening, gentlemen. Lawrenceofasia coming at you once again here from Seoul, South Korea. You can hear the birds chirping in the background. Sunset is on its way. And this evening, gentlemen, I want to be talking with you about the red pill, how I came to find the red pill, or was the red pill always with me, more or less, and how it doesn't really matter what woman's nature is, or the nature of people for that matter. More importantly, how do you frame your life in different situations so that you are little to not affected whatsoever by outward circumstances. All right, so now I'm going to tell you guys about myself and my upbringing and so forth. Now, I grew up in a loving, traditional household that was also quite dysfunctional. A lot of alcohol, a lot of arguments, and but very loving as well. So mom and dad were together. I have a younger brother, 21 months younger than I am. And growing up, we were always really close, and we were a very active family. My father coached us in baseball every year. We're always first place, all-stars, all that over the years, and we went on to race motocross as well, as did my grandfather, and also my father and uncle, and my brother and I as well. So had a very loving and active household, especially my father. But around the age of 12 or so, my father had been trying to stop drinking for a long time, and my mom was still always bringing alcohol home. So she'd bring an 18-pack of beer home. I can remember when I was very young, my mom and dad would get in arguments, and I would just be throwing beers into the woods in the backyard because I wanted them to stop drinking, and I wanted the arguing to stop. Didn't know what to do. Anyway, when I was about 12, my father eventually went to rehab, and my mom, while my father was in rehab, from what I can tell, basically cheated on my father with someone who was supposed to be his friend as well. She went on to just leave our family, abandon us, and she was okay to do so, and just basically ran off, skipped to the next state with this gentleman, and they were off, right? Well, the court awarded my brother and I to my mother and father, but my mother moved out of state. My mother got the house, even though she never actually paid another payment on that house. So we lost our family home as a result. We both, my brother and I, wanted to be with my father. However, and we told the judge this, however, they still awarded my brother and I to my mother. All right, now, gentlemen, when I later was living with my mother after some time, my brother and I down in Florida, my mom's boyfriend nearly strangled me to death. All right, he was a monster. Honestly, he was a bad man. But the sad thing is that my mother took his back, and basically she betrayed me, right? So she bailed him out of jail that next morning, and the social service workers were ready to send us to the orphanage, and my mom was okay with that. All right, so I was totally betrayed by my mother. I can still remember when I walked into the house with the police 5 a.m. after a horrible night. We had ran away from home. Didn't try to call the police. They just ended up surrounding a friend's house after my friend's mom called child services trying to figure out how to help us, right? I remember my mother looking at me when we walked in the house, and she was surrounded by a couple police, and she just looked at me with hate in her eyes. God bless her. And she just said, "Sean, how dare you?" But with total hate in her eyes, right? Total betrayal. Very sad. All right. Moving onwards, though, I've went on to forgive her, and I don't hold any resentment towards her whatsoever. So if you do hear this, Mom, I love you. but I want this to be known. Why is it that I have a passion to help men? And what is it that red pilled me? That's just one event, gentlemen. Had some really toxic relationships. I also had some very healthy relationships as well. One with a Japanese girl. Some that are mixed, where they're harmonious sometimes, and the other half they're toxic. But the most recent, one red pill I can say, gentlemen. I've been with countless number of women, and so many of these women, I know firsthand because I've seen, and I know that these women are cheating. I know it. There's a plethora of these girls have cheated, and oftentimes it's easier to get with a girl who has a man than it is to get with a girl who's single, believe it or not. But that's been red pilling in and of itself. But I was always red pilled, and I've seen the toxicity of what the female is capable of. Now, us men, we can be toxic as well. So I'm not saying that it's just one way. All right. Most recently, though, one story I want to share with you, gentlemen, is this. I basically was with my partner that I'm with now, and she got pregnant. We had a baby. Now she wanted to get rid of the baby, and she was ready to abort the baby. And I did everything in my power to fight to help keep that baby. And by fight, I mean keeping my mouth shut and not aggravating her in any way, right? Keeping her at ease. But she went on to leave me and go be back with her ex after we had our child, right? She wanted to blame all that on me, but in reality, it was her who just wanted to go be back with him. So she would create all kinds of drama, and then she would use that as an excuse to leave, right? Now, here's the story I want to share, gentlemen. After we had parted ways, she flew to China to be with this gentleman, her ex, and took our child. I didn't see much that I could do about it. I would keep contact with her every 3, 4, 5 days. I would be in contact with her, and I would be speaking with my oldest daughter. She was 2 years old at the time. I would be speaking with her, or she was actually 1.5 years old at the time. I'd be speaking with her via video call, right? Well, I was in Bali, and then we had planned to talk the next day, right? That was the plan. Well, for no reason, no arguing or anything, for no reason whatsoever, and still unexplained to me to this day, my baby mama, as she was at the time, she chose to just basically disappear for, it was 17 days, where I did not know if my daughter was okay. I had nightmares and bad dreams that something maybe had went wrong. And I really didn't know if my daughter was okay or not. I really had no idea. Yeah. So that was really, really hard. Having these nightmares, wanting to get in contact with her. And you know what I had to do, gentlemen? I didn't know if my daughter was even alive anymore. I had nightmares that she had even passed. It was tragic. It was bad. And it was tough. And I was depressed. Okay? Couldn't get in touch with them, couldn't get in touch with her. I had no idea if my daughter was still okay. And what I had to do, gentlemen, what I spoke with you all at the beginning of this video is this, okay? I had to reframe that. Instead of being a victim and that I can't get in touch with my daughter, I started reframing that, alchemizing that in my own mind to this. I am so grateful that I have a daughter. I am so grateful that I have a daughter. And I wasn't able to talk with her. I had no communication, but that's what I had to do, gentlemen. Now, I didn't have to do that, but I tell you, it served me so well. And, it's like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, it's all in how you frame it, gentlemen. You can be going through circumstances that seem to be the worst in the world to everyone around you. And if you frame it in a beautiful way, well, that's your choice, gentlemen. And we have that power, we have that innate ability to reframe things in our favor, right? And I just would all the time tell myself, as soon as I was feeling bad, my mind would get caught up on how I was desperate and anxious to talk to my daughter and see her. And I would just refocus the energy on the fact that I am so grateful that I have a daughter. I am so grateful that I have a daughter, right? And I tell you, gentlemen, it was one of the most powerful realizations I had. And I would oftentimes meet people, I would share with them what was going on in my life, and they said, well, how in the world is it possible that you're so content, you're so happy? Something's wrong. What's going on? Why are you acting so happy? I was in total peace, gentlemen. And that was just the honest truth about it, is that I had alchemized that situation to where I wasn't focusing on the negative. I was focusing on the beautiful, the fact that I had a daughter. And you can do the same with anything and everything, gentlemen. You can frame your life in such a way that you orient yourself in a way that you are grateful for all the various things there are to be grateful for, and you will see that your life will become more and more beautiful. So yes, women's nature sucks oftentimes, right? That's the red pill. Just the reality that women are not sugar and spice and all things nice, okay? Yes, the red pill. Now for me, I've always known that. That was something I knew from the get-go, right? Through my experience. I'd seen it and I knew it full well. I seen the attitude and the manipulation. I had seen it my entire life, okay? So I knew that full and well, right? But it doesn't matter, gentlemen. What's important in this life, okay, is you growing on a regular basis and to continue thriving, right? You taking control of all the various aspects in your life that you have control over, right? Never playing the victim, right? And always progressing in your life. Grow every day. Do hard things. Grow every day. Become someone new. Grow, expand, evolve consciously, spiritually, emotionally. All right? And no matter what happens outside of you, when you are evolving and you are growing, especially when you stay physical, you'll be little to not affected at all by the outward circumstances, as I said before. So if I could look at my father's situation, and God bless his soul, God rest his soul, he has since taken his own life. I love you, Dad. He was a courageous man. But if I could learn any lesson from his life, it would have been to keep progressing. You know, if he would have kept progressing in his life, just, you know, he was progressing in business, right? But if he could have progressed in his physicality, right? You know, I think that he would have done better in business. I think he'd have had a lot more stronger likelihood of having a healthier relationship with my mother for longer. Now, that may have just very well been doomed to fail anyway, and that's okay. But yes, gentlemen, if you have a family, or if you just get caught up in a relationship, do not get lazy and content. Never get content. Okay? Never feel like you have everything and you can rest, gentlemen. Now, I always wanted that. And I think my father, I think all men want that. But my father thought he could do that. He thought he could just rest and be content. Be content. But, gentlemen, don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable. And challenge yourself on a daily basis. Always be growing. It'll make you more attractive as a man. And it'll make you less affected by the outer circumstances as well. So, as we're listening to the birds chirp, and I hope you gentlemen can hear that, I hope you can appreciate my vulnerability in this talk here. I can open up more. If you all want to share some of your circumstances and open up a bit in the comments, I see vulnerability not as weakness, but as strength, as power. Don't be afraid to open up, gentlemen, and share, your various experiences. The reason being, other men can relate to that, and that can benefit all of us, right? That's why I'm sharing this with you all, because I want you to know that I can relate to whatever you may be going through, difficulties with women or difficulties in life. I want you to know that I can relate, and that I'm here for you, okay? I do see it as my mission to uplift humanity, but specifically be there for men, and to support men in whatever you're going through. My best advice for you: don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take life too seriously. But keep moving. If you can't get out of bed, get yourself out of bed. Go for a walk. Keep moving. Keep moving. Stay physical. Stay hard. You can outgrow. You can out-evolve. You can alchemize whatever situation you're in, gentlemen. You can beat it. All right? One last point. Don't get so content in the relationship such that you are serving your woman or your partner, your family, so much so that you are not growing as a person. Take time for yourself. Get into the gym. Get out into nature on your own. Take time for yourself and grow. You'll be better able to serve those around you if you do so. All right? Sometimes that's a little bit tough, right? But it's necessary. And that's my wisdom for you all. I know through experience that's an ideal path. Remember to take time for yourself. Don't give all your time away to others, okay? All right. Gentlemen, I love you. God bless. I'm here for you. And I'll see you in the next one. Signing off from South Korea. This is Lawrenceofasia. Guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Push the bell icon. And let me know what type, what it was that red pilled you, or what type of difficulties you're facing at the moment. All right, gentlemen? All right. God bless. We'll catch you again. Peace.